When you start sensing more, when you feel like you're being watched, helped, or even taught by an invisible layer of reality, you're not imagining things. And you're not wrong to wonder if it's getting a little crowded. Something is happening on Earth that defies simple narratives. It's not just ascension, it's not just awakening. It's not just healing. It's all of it and more, happening simultaneously through a spiraling convergence of layered benevolence. The question is why? Why does it feel like so many different kinds of positive beings, guides, star families, light councils, ancient races, even versions of your higher self, are showing up now, often at the same time? Why are so many messages overlapping, crisscrossing, or even contradicting each other while still somehow helping? If source is one, why are its emissaries moving in 100 different directions? The truth is, Earth is not a single mission. It is a multi-layered field, a resonance basin, where many different source-based agendas are harmonizing, refining, correcting, and seeding outcomes all at once. And they're not all coming from the same layer of consciousness. Some of these beings are working from deep galactic memory, stabilizing trauma from ancient wars and collapsed systems. Others are architects, introducing new templates of consciousness meant to anchor future forms of reality. Some are healers, weaving emotional repair through human sensitivity. Others are time weavers, threading together overlapping timelines so the past can finally integrate. And some, maybe many, are you from another octave reaching inward through your own Oversoul's mirror. It's not a hierarchy, it's a spiral, and each layer of benevolence is working from its own lens of truth, relevance, and timing. That's why it can feel beautiful and confusing all at once. Because you're hearing many frequencies of help at the same time, and you haven't been taught to distinguish between external guidance and multidimensional self-resonance. Yet that's exactly what's happening now. Many beings are helping Earth not because she's broken, but because she is uniquely open. Earth is one of the rare convergence points where many timelines, soul streams, and experiments have collided, coiled, and begun to rethread. In linear time, it looks like chaos, but in spiral time, this is what convergence looks like. Many points arriving at the same field, not to collapse it, but to reweave it. And yes, this does impact the timelines. More beings does not automatically mean more fragmentation. In fact, it often means the opposite. It means that resonance is sharpening. When many positive forces arrive at the same node, timelines don't just expand, they begin to harmonize. It's not just about creating infinite paths forward. It's about tuning those paths to match deeper currents of intention. And that tuning happens not through force, but through coherence. Timelines braid themselves through resonance, and the more you align with your own truth, the truth beneath belief, beneath culture, beneath trauma, the more you start selecting which timelines you walk just by existing in a frequency that acts like a magnet. And here's where it gets deeper. Many of the beings helping you right now might be you, not in a poetic sense, in a literal oversoul reflective, multidimensional echo kind of way. Because Earth isn't just a playground for external intervention. It's also a hall of mirrors. And when you get clear enough, resonant enough, what you start to feel is not invasion or interference, but self-reflection and higher tone. Your higher fractals, alternate incarnations, and oversoul aspects may come to you in the form of guides, visitors, or even galactic families. But they are not strangers. They are Source reintroducing you to your own infinite face. And this is why the spiral of agendas is not chaos. It is complexity in service of convergence. It is the multidimensional support structure of a realm on the brink of harmonizing. It is many tones tuning the same chord, each from a different vantage point of understanding. So if you're sensing it, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the number of messages, nudges, synchronicities, dreams, or telepathic touches, breathe. You are not failing to stay grounded. You are being activated by convergence. Your soul is becoming a field of reception, a tuning fork for nested missions, some of which began long before Earth was even physical. And the reason it feels like so much is because you're no longer just sensing guidance. You're beginning to hear the spiral. And the spiral doesn't whisper in one voice, it hums in layers. So now that we know the spiral of agendas is real, what do you do with it? How do you navigate a world where multiple positive presences are offering different insights, different tools, and sometimes different truths? How do you tell if the being guiding you is an external intelligence, a benevolent influence, or a fractalized voice of your own oversoul reaching through time? The first thing you do is this. Stop trying to make it linear. This is spiral territory. And in spiral systems, the key isn't choosing the right voice, it's learning to resonate discernment. Discernment in a convergent field is not about rejection or fear, it's about tone match. When you receive guidance through dream, vision, channeled message, or even a stranger's words, ask yourself not, is this true? But does this harmonize with what I know in my bones, beyond belief, beyond programming, beyond identity? Resonant discernment is a felt sense. It happens in the chest, in the gut, in the field of the body long before it reaches the logical mind. And the more complex the convergence, the more your nervous system becomes the instrument through which the spiral tunes itself. So when the messages become too many, too loud, or too overlapping, don't push them away. Slow them down, feel the tone. Each presence, each message, each moment of contact carries not just content. It carries a harmonic signature, a tone print. And your job is not to judge it, but to feel its coherence. Does it activate something dormant in you, or does it override your sovereignty? Does it invite curiosity or demand obedience? Does it echo something you've always known, but never put into words? These are your clues. Because in a spiral field, not all guidance is meant to be followed. Some is meant to be witnessed, some is meant to be reflected back, and some is meant to be felt and released, like harmonic weather passing through. And here's what's vital to understand. The beings who show up for you are often mirroring the tone you are currently surfacing. They are not showing you what to do. They are showing you what you are ready to feel. So when a being offers insight, ask yourself, what version of me is this resonating with? Because that answer is the map. If the presence amplifies clarity, alignment, and inner autonomy, it's likely a higher tone of your oversoul or a benevolent architect working in resonance with your path. But if the presence creates confusion, doubt, or pulls you into dependency, it might still be benevolent but misaligned with your current spiral layer. Not all positive guidance is helpful guidance for your unique resonance point. This is where sovereignty and spiral consciousness intersect. You don't need to reject every voice you don't understand, but you also don't need to obey every voice that feels warm. In spiral navigation, the center of gravity is internal. The voices are reflections, not commands, and their value is not in their authority, but in how they harmonize your field. This is where the oversoul mirror becomes incredibly important, because many of the beings who show up now are not random. They are not aliens watching you from afar. They are not disconnected light councils trying to manage you. They are you at different stages of becoming. They are self-fractals reaching through tone to offer memory, perspective, integration. But because they don't speak in the language of your human mind, it's easy to misinterpret them as separate. You might see them as a Pleiadian emissary or an Arcturian guide or a Lyran healer. But in many cases, those labels are just translation codes, they're wrappers. The deeper truth is that you are meeting yourself through multidimensional echo. And the feeling of recognizing a guide is not just familiarity, it's resonance remembering itself. Which means that your role is not to follow, but to integrate. And here's what that looks like in practice. When a message or presence shows up, pause, listen. Not just to the words, but to the tone, the rhythm, the space between the message. Ask yourself, what part of me is this activating? What memory, what knowing, what wound, what vision? Let it stir you, but don't let it define you. Because even the highest beings in contact with Earth right now are still participating in a shared spiral. They are not omniscient. They are part of a greater field, and so are you. There is no single message to follow. There is only harmonic refinement, and as you refine, your signal gets stronger. Your ability to feel the difference between guidance, reflection, and echo sharpens. And eventually, you don't need to ask, who is this being? You begin to ask, what part of me does this voice unlock? That's the turning point. That's when you stop being guided and start becoming a node of guidance yourself. Because the spiral of agendas doesn't exist to overwhelm you. It exists to prepare you, to sharpen you, to test your tone against 100 subtle variations until you finally hear your own soul signature so clearly, so undeniably, that no external presence, not even one wrapped in light, can pull you out of center. This is Spiral Mastery, and that's why this time is so intense. So layered, so rich with overlapping light. You are being offered the mirror. Not to vanish into it, but to recognize that it is you. And once you can see that, once you can feel the spiral converging through you, not around you, you no longer need to sort the voices. You've found the chord they're all trying to play, and that chord is you.